When we experience significant loss, we may fall into the depths of grief first, and even have difficulty breathing. Then, when we surface, we just make waves but don't swim to an actual destination. We call this stage mourning. But in mourning, there is hope. Psalm 18:16 says, "He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters." When you feel trapped in pain, recognize that you have a deliverer who will keep you from drowning in the depths of hopelessness. As much as we often want to ignore or deny it, the truth is that we will experience difficulties in this life. But remember, there's hope in God, and let's look at that today in this message entitled, "He Drew Me Out." In Psalm 18:16 says, "He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters." When I felt like I was drowning, he grabbed me, and he brought me out, and he got me out of my difficult circumstance, my mourning, my place that I felt hopeless. Are you living in pain? Do you feel isolated, lonely? Do you feel like you are living mechanically? Do you resent God for allowing that loss to happen? Do you ask yourself why over and over? Do you feel overwhelmed without knowing what to do or where to go? Do you feel distressed about your loss? Do you daydream a lot about your loss? Do you feel angry or bitter about what happened? Do you feel that you cannot forgive the person who caused your loss? Do you dream at night about your loss? Do you see life as an empty struggle and without rewards? Do you feel hopeless knowing that many others are also suffering? Do you wonder what kind of God allows suffering? Do you see God as someone who doesn't get involved and has no compassion for our pain? Psalm 18:6 says, "In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried to my God for help. He heard my voice from his temple, and my cry for help before him came into his ears." So you don't have to live with that pain if you call out to him. Appeal to the Lord with honesty. Unhealthy or unresolved sadness is a barrier to receiving love and comfort from God. Jesus said in the Sermon of the Beatitudes, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." Matthew 5:4. If you're experiencing any of these types of pain, remember the Lord can draw you out. Repressed pain, lonely pain, isolated pain, intellectualized pain, inverted pain, or immortalized grief, an inability to accept loss. These all are forms of pain that keep us from experiencing God's happiness for us and our joy. And Psalm 71:20 says, "You who have shown me many troubles and distresses will revive me again and will bring me up again from the depths of the earth." Conclusion today is that everyone mourns differently, but everyone must go through that process to heal. When we entrust our lives to the Lord, the pain diminishes little by little, and he restores the joy in our hearts. And someday, if not in this life, then it will be in the life to come, as in the case of the disciples. We will finally understand that God can take those terrible losses and turn them into a source of joy for us. In John 16:20 says, "Truly, truly, I say to you that you will weep and mourn, but the world will rejoice. You will grieve, but your grief will be turned into joy." And we're going to look at the verse one more time, Psalm 18:16, where it says, "He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters." I pray that if you're going through pain today, that you will ask him for help and that he might draw you out of those many waters of mourning, of despair, of pain, and that you would find peace and healing and your grief would turn into joy. God bless, and see you soon.